Have you ever felt like you're just existing, but not really living? Have you ever looked at your life and thought, is this all there is? In this video, we dive deep into humanity's third silent death, the one that happens while you're still alive. Inspired by quotes like, most people die at 25, but aren't buried until 75. We'll explore how routine, comfort zones, and a lack of purpose slowly kill the soul long before the body gives out. We'll talk about the danger of living on autopilot, how to escape emotional and psychological death, the signs you're dying on the inside, how to reconnect with your life's true purpose, techniques to awaken your consciousness, a dark psychology and the hidden forces of conformity. This video is a wake-up call, a slap to the soul, a brutal invitation to live authentically. If you feel like you need to wake up, this video is for you. Subscribe, leave a comment, share it, and help spread this message to others who are also fighting not to go numb inside. The invisible death. Have you ever noticed how many people walk around with their eyes open, but inside, they're already dead? I'm not talking about physical death. I'm talking about something far scarier, the death of the soul, the death of purpose, the death of dreams. That quote you just read, most people die at 25, but aren't buried until 75, is one of the harshest truths of modern life. By 25, most of us have gone through a silent ritual. It's when dreams start getting locked away, when boldness is traded for stability, when the fire of youth is slowly smothered by bills, family pressure, and fear of failure. One day, you wake up and realize you're living a routine you never chose, working a job where you don't belong, surrounded by people you don't connect with, following rules you never questioned. And slowly, life becomes a straight line, predictable, colorless, and the most tragic part? You start convincing yourself that this is normal. At 25, many people bury their talents. They bury the passion they had for art, music, writing, science, the unknown. They bury the desire to build something meaningful. They bury the courage to be authentic, to truly live. And so, they spend the next 50 years just existing, producing, consuming, obeying, surviving, waiting for the end like one waits for a holiday. With boredom, not excitement. These people still smile in photos. They still post motivational quotes on Instagram. They still breathe. But inside, they're already gone. At 25, society tells you to grow up. But what it really wants is for you to stop being a problem. Stop dreaming big. Stop asking hard questions. Stop wanting more. And many do. They conform. They wear the invisible suit of compliance and spend the rest of their lives playing a role they never wrote, in a story that has no happy ending. This is the invisible death. Silent, socially accepted, culturally encouraged. But what if it's not too late? What if this death isn't final? What if there's a way to come back to life before the burial? What was killed inside you? Have you ever stopped to think, exactly when did you start dying inside? It didn't happen all at once. No one just walks in and shuts off your light in a single blow. No, it happens slowly, almost always with a smile on their face and a "it's for your own good" on their lips. It starts in childhood, when you say you want to be an astronaut, an artist, an inventor, and someone laughs, or worse, corrects you. That doesn't make money. Do something real. Be more realistic. In that moment, something dies. Maybe your belief in yourself. Maybe your freedom to dream big. Or maybe that spark that made the world feel magical. Later, in school, you learn that being different is wrong. That asking questions makes you rebellious. That creativity is for people who aren't paying attention. And that silence and obedience are virtues. Your boldness dies. Your spontaneity. Your courage to speak your truth. By 18, you're thrown into a system that doesn't care who you are. It only cares about what you can produce. Pick a career. Decide your whole life right now. Don't make mistakes. Don't disappoint anyone. And so, suffocated, you choose something safe. Something that pleases your parents. Something that gives you status. Or worse, something that simply pays the bills. Right there, your desire to do what you love dies. By 25, you've learned to dress the way they expect, to talk the way they expect, to stay in line, to follow the script. You adapt, you survive, but inside you're no longer you. Your authenticity died. And the cruelest part? You didn't even notice, because while all this was dying, the world around you was clapping. You were praised for maturing, for being responsible, for having your head on straight, but no one saw what you lost in the process. You lost the light in your eyes, the hunger for life, the drive to create, the passion for learning, the joy of simply existing. You started living on autopilot. Wake up, work, sleep, repeat, do what you're told, feel what's allowed, dream only within what's acceptable. And time passes. You look back and barely recognize yourself. The child you once were, bold, creative, full of life, wouldn't be proud of who you've become. They'd probably look at you and ask, why did you give up? That question hurts, because deep down, you didn't really give up. The world taught you how to. But here's the good news. If it still hurts, it means something inside you is still alive. The flame might be weak, but it's still burning. And now comes the most important question of all. How do you reignite that flame? The signs that you're dying while still lying on the ground. There's no blood. No one's crying around you. But something inside you is already in a coma. And the worst part? You've learned to call this normal life. But dying while alive comes with symptoms. Silent signs that show up before the collapse. And if you pay attention, you might realize you're a lot closer to the end than you think. 1. You wake up tired even after sleeping. It's not physical. It's mental. You wake up already weighed down by the day, exhaling deeply before your feet even touch the floor, dragging yourself through life like you're serving a sentence. 2. You distract yourself constantly. Phone, notifications, food, social media, anything to avoid being alone with your own thoughts. Because the moment you stop, the emptiness shows up. And emptiness is terrifying. 3. You feel envy toward people who still have a spark in their eyes. You don't say it out loud, but you feel it. That person who loves what they do, who radiates passion and energy. Instead of inspiring you, they make you uncomfortable, because they remind you of what you've lost. 4. You feel like you're just surviving. Days, weeks, months go by, and you can't point to anything you actually lived. Everything becomes routine. Same conversations, same places, same excuses. 5. You fear change even though you're unhappy. You complain about the life you're living, but when the chance for change appears, you freeze. You'd rather stay in familiar pain than face the unknown. That's not comfort. That's emotional prison. 6. You avoid looking inward. Self-reflection hurts. Reviewing your choices, facing your wounds, admitting you're not truly happy, that takes courage. And it's easier to ignore it, to pretend everything's fine, to numb yourself with consumption, routine, and distractions. 7. You feel like you've lost something, but you can't name it. Maybe your identity, maybe your dreams, or maybe just your connection to life itself. It's like your body is present, but your soul is absent. If you saw yourself in even one of these signs, then chances are something inside you is slowly dying. But here comes the most important part. You can come back to life. Most people don't die from lack of a heartbeat. They die from lack of purpose, from lack of courage, from lack of self-love. But you don't have to be one of them. And in the next section, I want to show you exactly that. How to start coming back to life. How to break this cycle. How to reconnect with what truly makes you feel alive. How to start coming back to life. The return to conscious living. Coming back to life doesn't start with an explosion. It starts with a whisper, with discomfort, with that moment when you realize, this isn't really living. And from that point on, you have two choices. Sink back into numbness, or wake up even if it hurts. The truth is, real life hurts, but it's because it hurts that it's worth it. Truly living isn't comfortable. It's intense, unpredictable, uncertain. But that's where your soul lives. So how do you come back to life? Here are the first steps, simple but brutal. 1. Break the autopilot. Stop right now. Take a deep breath. Look around. Where are you? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Waking up from living death starts with one gesture. Full attention to the present. Splash water on your face. Step outside. Take a walk without your phone. Start noticing the small things, sounds, smells, textures, details. It might seem silly, but it sends a message to your brain. I'm back. 2. Question everything you've accepted as normal. Who said working a miserable job until 65 is the only option? Who said settling for less is called maturity? Who made you believe that dreaming is childish? Revival begins when you start challenging these poison truths. You're not here just to survive. You're here to live with purpose, or you'll slowly rot from the inside. 3. Reconnect with what sets your soul on fire. Remember what made you smile when no one was watching. Maybe it was drawing, writing, singing, caring, teaching, creating. Go back to it, even if just for 10 minutes a day. That's when your soul finally breathes. 4. Cut out what silently kills you. People who drain you. Environments that suffocate. Routines that exhaust. Maybe you can't change everything overnight, but start with one choice at a time. Today, I won't explain myself to people who never understood me. Today, I'll say no without guilt. Today, I'll take one step outside the cage. 5. Have the courage to face yourself. Grab a mirror, literal or metaphorical, and ask, what am I avoiding? The pain you pretend not to feel is exactly what you need to face, because only what's faced can be healed. 6. Surround yourself with life. Alive people remind you that you can be alive too. Find those who inspire, who dream, who vibrate with life. Even if it's from a distance, through a book, a video, a conversation. Energy is contagious. And finally, don't wait for a miracle. Resurrection isn't an event. It's a process, a rebirth by choice day after day. In the next section, I want to show you the invisible enemies that will try to pull you back into that lifeless state. Because yes, coming back to life is possible. But if you don't know what's killing you, you'll fall again. The invisible killers of your vitality. You've started to wake up, to question, to breathe deeply and remember you're alive. But be warned, the system doesn't like that. Because awakened people make others uncomfortable. And that's when the invisible killers show up. Not with knives, but with distractions, with guilt, with fear, with toxic comfort. These killers don't wear black. They use your own inner voice and whisper gently, why change now? You'll never make it. It's better to just settle. Let's name them. 1. The buzz of distraction. We live surrounded by noise, notifications, series, short videos, endless scrolling. You think you're entertained, but really you're numbing yourself. Every second you give to distraction is a second that builds nothing. And the more distracted you become, the further you drift from yourself. Distraction is the soul's sedative. It's how most people die at 25 and aren't buried until 75. Numbed by content, never truly looking within. 2. The weight of guilt. Guilt is an emotional leash. Guilt for wanting more. Guilt for saying no. Guilt for being selfish. But here's the truth. You weren't born to please everyone. You were born to live fully. Every time you hold back out of fear of disappointing someone, you're trading freedom for approval. And that's a subtle kind of poison. 3. The fear of rejection. This is one of the cruelest killers, because it disguises itself as self-protection. You don't try, you don't risk, you don't show who you are, because you're afraid of not being accepted. But here's a hard truth. Rejection hurts, but self-denial kills. Living to fit in means living hunched over. And we weren't made to fit, we were made to expand. 4. The comfort that corrodes. Not all prisons have bars. Sometimes they have couches, Wi-Fi, and food in the pantry. Excessive comfort is a kind of intoxication. You think you're fine, but you're slowly dying. The predictable routine, the secure job, the okay relationship, all of it might be a coffin with cushions. 5. The sleeping crowd. You surround yourself with people stuck in zombie mode and start thinking it's normal. People who only complain. People numbing themselves with addictions. People who say that's just how it is to everything. Be careful. Living dead is contagious. And if you don't choose who you walk with, you'll end up heading to the same invisible grave. So what now? You need to be radical. You can't come back to life with half a heart. Uninstall what distracts you. Distance yourself from what dims you. Take one step each day toward what wakes you up. The code of the living, how to stay awake in a dead world. Now you know. You know that death doesn't always come with a coffin. Sometimes it comes with routine, silence, and settling. But if you've made it this far, it's because something inside you is still burning. So listen closely. It's not the heart that keeps someone alive. It's purpose. And if you don't have one, you're just coasting through life. Here is the code of the living. Simple, direct, brutally honest. 1. Live with intention. Every day you have 2 choices: react or act, survive or create. Waking up early doesn't make you alive. Working hard doesn't make you alive. Being busy all the time is just the illusion of progress. What makes you alive is having clarity of why. Why do you get out of bed? Why do you do what you do? Why did you choose this life? If you can't answer that, stop now. Question everything. Change. 2. Find meaningful pain. Pain will find you, sooner or later, but you have a choice. Suffer for something empty, or suffer for something that matters. Pain with purpose heals. Pain without meaning kills you from the inside. Train, study, create, give, confront, grow. All of it hurts, but all of it keeps you alive. 3. Connect with awake people. You won't stay alive on your own. You need people who challenge you, people who remind you who you are, people who burn inside, just like you. Avoid emotional zombies. They'll drain your energy, your dreams, your soul. Choose to walk with those who stretch you, not shrink you. 4. Embrace death to truly live. The scariest truth is also the most freeing. You're going to die. Could be tomorrow, or 40 years from now. But living like death is far away, is wasting the only certainty you have. Use that. Every decision should go through this filter. If I had only one more year, would I do this? If the answer is no, then you already know what you need to do. 5. Create something bigger than you. It's not about fame. It's not about money. It's about legacy. Even if no one sees it, build. Even if no one understands, keep going. Even if no one claps, don't stop. Because in the end, the only way to not die at 25 is to live like each day is your final scream of existence. Now it's on you. If this message woke something up inside you, if it reminded you that you're alive, then don't let that spark die. Like this video if you've still got blood pumping through your veins. Share it with someone you know is slowly fading away. Subscribe to the channel. Around here, we speak to the ones who truly want to wake up. And drop a comment below. Have you ever felt dead inside? Like you lost touch with who you really are? Tell your story. Your truth might wake someone up right now. Most people die at 25. But you're still here, aren't you? Then prove it. Start truly living.